Plasticosis is just plastic-induced fibrosis, where repeated plastic exposure causes injury and inflammation, which leads to the production of severe scar tissue formation in organs. So as plastic is sharp, it tends to poke and prod into the soft tissue of the stomach. And over time, this can cause repeated injury to this soft tissue, and scar tissue can be formed at that injury site. But over time, that repeated damage caused by plastics can cause extensive scar tissue to form, which we have called plasticosis. The primary symptom of plasticosis is just, yes, this severe scar tissue formation. So while scarring is a really normal and healthy part of the healing process, after things like injury and inflammation, it sort of is formed to help provide structural support while that damaged tissue is healing and being repaired. But if this tissue is repeatedly injured, like in the case of plasticosis, it may become overrun with scar tissue, and we call that fibrosis. So this plasticosis appears as that excess collagen formation, collagen just being a primary component of scar tissue. And within these tissue structures, and organs can become visibly scarred and damaged as a result. For an individual level, the damage caused by plastic in this plasticosis may mean that the bird's ability to maintain their gastric health and digest food may be impaired. And while this is not immediately fatal, like I mentioned before, all of these really smaller impacts can cumulatively mean that the bird individually is less likely to survive. And then overall, that translates to population level impacts. We need these birds in this really threatened population to reach adulthood and hopefully breed themselves. But all the birds assessed in this study were fledglings, so they're only 90 days old. They haven't had the opportunity to breed and replace themselves yet. So if these birds are being lost from the population before that happens, that may mean the population continues to decline in the future, unfortunately. So individual level impacts, but also those wider reaching impacts as well. Since we've only just described this disease, we're not sure about so many elements of it. We don't know if it's possible to cure. We don't know if these birds, as I mentioned before, they're fledglings, they're young birds. We don't know if they're able to, if they reach adulthood, whether they're able to heal themselves and whether the tissue is able to naturally regenerate over time. We haven't been able to track the birds yet to know sort of if they're able to recover naturally. And obviously we don't know if it's able to be cured yet. Scar tissue is, as I said, it's sort of a natural part of the healing process, so it's very difficult to also find a cure for. So unfortunately, yeah, there's just a lot that we don't know.